Good evening. How's everybody doing today? Great? Fantastic, awesome. Who else want to come up with more words? Splendid. Spectacular? Wonderful. What? Wow, that's a new word. I'd love to actually learn that word later on when I catch up with you. Incredible. Thank you so much, because that's who you guys are. My name is Gabriel Jude, also known as Gabriel Vallo. I'm a video marketing geek as well as a serial entrepreneur. But before I actually begin, I need a favor from you guys. Can you guys help me out? Yes? Okay, brilliant. So because there are a lot of new people here, I just wanted to share with you that Incitement was actually co-founded by Zikri and Daniel. And the whole vision is about spreading positivity and change around the world. And now they've expanded to 22 countries. So I'd like to actually ask for your help to give Zikri, Daniel, and everybody who's part of Incitement a well-deserved round of applause. Come on. Thank you. You guys are awesome. And yeah, it was my first time last month in Incitement. And I must tell you one thing. As I was on the way back home to Singapore, I felt really, really positive. Because not only did I have the honor and the privilege to actually meet up with epic people from Zikri to Daniel to Luhan to Young, and I could go with the next 18 minutes sharing all the names, but the insiders that came up on this beautiful stage was absolutely phenomenal. So Zikri, Daniel, you guys have actually incited me, and you guys have actually added more positivity into my life, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. Now, before I begin, I've got two simple questions that I'd like to ask. Just two questions. Raise your hand if there was a point of time in your life. It could be society, it could be your parents, it could be your family, it could be your loved ones, your friends, who've told you that failure or failing is a bad thing. Just pretty much everybody. True story. True story. Now, raise your hands again if you'd like to achieve more success and achieve all that you desire. In fact, say I. I. You guys are incredible. I use that word now. So, if you want to get from where you are right now to where you want to go, which is ultimately achieving more success, the reality is each and every single one of you are successful, and I'm going to share with you why in just a moment. But if you want to achieve more success and you want to have all that you desire, the key is your perception on failing. And that is essentially what I'm here to talk about today. How many of you know Mr. Thomas Edison? Raise your hands if you know Thomas Edison. Brilliant. So you guys already know where I'm getting at. So there was a point of time just a little after he actually invented the light bulb. A reporter literally dashed up to him. I just did my workout for today. A reporter ran up to him and say, Mr. Edison, how does it feel that after 10,000 times, you finally invented a light bulb? Exactly. Now, what do you think Mr. Edison actually said? Can someone share with me what he said? What? Yes, sir. Jimmy.
He figured out there is 10,000 times that this does not work.
Exactly. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you. Exactly. What he said was, I haven't failed, I just found 10,000 ways that don't work. And that is why perception is important, because perception is everything. From the reporter's point of view, he or she, I do not know who, was actually saying, how does it feel that after 10,000 times you've failed? But Thomas Edison was like, moron, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just learned 10,000 ways of how not to make a light bulb. Are you with me? So, what is perception and how do we create perception? Well, life is based on perception. Everyone would agree on that. Perception is based on opinion. Opinion is based on thought, and thought comes from the mind. And when you change your life, basically, when you change your mind, you change your life. So, I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years now. I started my first business when I was 17 years old. Now I'm getting older. I think I'm 26. Next month I'm turning 27. And ever since I was a kid growing up, my mom and my dad used to tell my brother and I that there is no such thing as failure. That, as a matter of fact, it irks me when I use the word failure because it's not in my dictionary. My parents never allowed me to use the word, my brother and I, to use the word failure. Because failure is when we actually give up. Failure is when we quit. Raise your hands if you agree. Excellent. You guys are so helping me calm my nerves. So, it has nothing to do with progressing or, achieving a goal. Failure is when we quit and when we stop. So I got into my first business, which was network marketing, from 2005 to 2008. And from there, I actually decided to move away from network marketing. And the reason why I decided to move away from network marketing was because I realized that I had developed an insane passion for creating my own products and my own services. And from 2008 all the way up to 2013, these were some of the companies that I was actually involved in. My first company was actually Tromad. Where's John? John Lai. There. Can you wave? Everybody say, hi, John. So, John and I, we actually started this company. He was part of the board. And we started this company called Tromad. And Tromad is an acronym that stands for Teens Reaching Out to Make a Difference. And we were a digital publication. And the whole vision was making a difference for teens. And what actually happened was we had phenomenal content. We had phenomenal people in the company. But we didn't do our market research, so by the time we launched, nothing happened. Again, no one wanted to actually see our products or our services or what we had to offer or what we had to say. And then from 2008, it came down to 2009, where John and I got into the WOW Exchange. And when we got into the WOW Exchange this time, we knew that when we started this company, we needed to learn how to do market research. We needed to learn where our market was hanging out. Are you with me? Yeah. And that was exactly what we did. We went out there, we had a base, we had a Facebook page of 5,000 people who wanted to try our services at the WOW Exchange. And it became a flop because no advertisers wanted to actually give us the funds, or no one wanted to actually work with us. And this ultimately brings back the wall of epic failed companies. Okay? By the way, no, I know what you guys are thinking. The polar bear is not part of the company, and we were not in the polar bear business. I just put it up there because it's like, oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. So that is what happened. So 2008, Tromad, 2009, the WOW Exchange, and then 2010 came. What actually happened was that I got myself roped into social media NZ. John that you see over there, he founded the company, and he brought me in as one of the board of directors. And what actually happened was, you see, this is something that I wanted to share with you. From 2008 to 2009, when we got into the WOW Exchange, we already knew how to start a company. It was a lot easier to start the second company than it was from the first. Because we were making a lot of mistakes, we had a lot of failures, and this time we told ourselves, let's do market research. Let's do market analysis. Let's reach out to the people first. And then what happened is that 2010, this was pretty much our first epic company, was it not? Yeah. So what I've learned from that experience is this, in the words of Henry Ford: failure is an opportunity to begin again, but more intelligently. Because when we got from 2008 to 2009, 2009 to 2010, this was what happened. Shortly after social media and Z, we were making what people call the right moves. Came to a point where Social Media NZ became the #1 social media news company in New Zealand. And after we became #1, a company approached us wanting to buy us out. And they wanted to buy us out for $1.5 million. And John turned down the offer. He turned down the offer not because it wasn't a lot of money. It was, right? Raise your hands if you think $1.5 million is a lot of money. Yeah, just everybody. So he turned it down because he had a goal, and the goal was not to become #1 in New Zealand. The goal was to be #1 in Australia and Asia, basically Pacific and Asia. That was the goal, and that was why he turned it down. And then in December of 2011, I started out another company. I co-founded a company called Easy Peasy Marketing. And it was a company that was started in Australia, in Perth. So not Melbourne, bro, sorry. So it was started in Perth, and it took us only 4.5 months before we became profitable. And then a couple of months ago, I left Easy Peasy Marketing to actually work on my consultancy business, because what I essentially do is I'm a geek. So I help people broadcast their messages and have their voices be heard through the power of online videos. So this is the string of epic companies. And we're profitable since day one. And the reason why we're profitable since day one was because people came to me and asking me if I had one-on-one coaching program or group coaching program in their area of video marketing. Are you with me so far? And quite some time ago, I'm very, very humbled. I was also featured as one of the entrepreneurs in the book called Raising CEO Kids. Thank you for the few people. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was featured in this book, authored by Sarah and Dr. Jerry Cook. They're husband and wife. You should get the book. It's a good read. Not just because I'm in there, but it's really, really a good book. And think about this. What happened 5 years ago? 5 years ago, where we were struggling to actually get a company off the ground or a company to become very profitable, a few years later, I'm honored to be featured in the book. We've started companies that has become profitable. What do you think happened? Can anybody share with me? No one? John, what happened? Yeah, and how do we make the right moves? I'm sorry, what was that? Well, we did a lot of praying, that's what I'll tell you. But we didn't just do praying. What happened was we were making a lot of mistakes, and we learned from those mistakes. We failed, and we learned from those failures. So from there, what happened was I had people wanted to interview us, and then when people interviewed and said, how do you get from you being a nobody to ultimately getting into this position in life? And I had a lot of different answers. I had variations, some long, some short, until one day I was on Facebook and my buddy actually put up a quote. And I was like, that's the reason why I'm where I am today, which I want to share with you. And that is, I ran out of ways to fail, which was why I succeeded. Thank you. But my goal here is not to actually share with you what happened. It's not to share with you my life story. My goal here is to instill a perception that each and every single one of you in this room are already successful. A lot of us just don't seem to believe it. And let me just share with you, obviously we've got different definitions of success, yeah? The reason why I say that each and every single one of us is successful, and I was talking about definitions, there is one definition I'm sure that each and every single one of us can actually agree upon. And this came from the legendary Earl Nightingale. Raise your hands if you know Earl Nightingale. Okay, a handful of people, great. Earl Nightingale said this, that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, of a worthy goal. Raise your hands if you would agree on that. Okay, not so many people. Raise your hands. Okay, brilliant. So we've got half. So I'll show you with you why in a moment. So if you are here and you have a goal and you are progressively progressing towards that specific goal, you're already successful. You're already successful. You don't have to be here to say, oh, I'm successful. As long as you're progressively moving forward, you're already successful. Are you with me? So I want to share with you, this is something that is very, very dear to my heart because this is something that I share a lot. And that is, I'm going to share with you a video. Can we play the clip? Okay.
Show Daddy. Who walked to Daddy?
That's okay. Oh my God. She did it. You ready? You ready?
Or say come to Daddy.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're a big girl now. Yeah, look at you. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Why did I show that video? Can anyone share with me why I showed that video? Hey? It was funny, okay. Yeah, YouTube videos are funny. But raise your hands if you recalled yourself going through that process. Okay, if you guys don't recall because we're kids, go and ask your parents, your relative, your loved ones the experience. But you see, I did not give up because my parents never allowed me to. But apart from that, when I went through a lot of struggles. I went through a lot of struggles. I don't think a lot of people would have persisted and persevered after 2 companies failing. That's just my opinion. And what I've actually learned, and the reason why I persevered and persisted is because of this specific thing that I tell myself. That every time I fail in business, I remind myself of when I was a kid, that every fall that I had was bringing me closer towards my goals. And in that being a kid, that's not me, by the way, but that being a kid, my goal was to walk. Are you with me? And if you want to actually, if you want to achieve all that you desire, it boils down to 6 steps. And that is, oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Have a goal, make a decision, have a plan, execute that plan, assess the plan. If the plan is not working, think about how you can improve upon that plan. If the plan can't be improved upon, you didn't fail. Just go back to step number 3 and create a new plan altogether. And then, most importantly, if it works, scale it up. And then number 6, celebrate like a kid. Okay, that's not how we would celebrate, but that's what it is. I want to leave you with one final thing. Can everybody please stand up? Thank you. Remain standing if you can still do this, okay? Remain standing if you can still do this. Was there a point of time in your life, remain standing if there was a point of time in your life where you couldn't walk, and today you can walk? So no one said, oh, it's too hard to walk, I quit, I'm going to fail, I'm not going to walk for the rest. No one said that, yeah? Okay, brilliant. Was there a point of time in your life where you could not talk, but today you could structure sentences like a boss? So remain standing if you can talk. Oh, just about everybody. Remain standing if there was a point of time where you couldn't feed yourself, and when you tried, you had food all over the place except in your mouth. Okay, just everybody. Just look at each other for a second. Just look at each other. Turn around, look at each other. Everyone is still standing up, right? Guys, I've just shown you that our lives are filled with success stories. I just gave you 3 examples here. If you were to sit down and think of yourself and your success stories, there are a ton of them. Not being able to drive a car to being able to drive a car. I can't still drive a car, to be honest, but that is what I'm driving across. So the one thing that I want to leave you all with is this. Your lives are filled with success stories. It's not working. Go out there and create more of it. Thank you.